Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international seminar on Cow Hug Day, cows, cow therapy, animal-assisted therapies, animal-assisted interventions, bovine therapy, service animals, indigenous breeds, animal welfare, livelihoods, One Health, well-being, and sustainable development 2023. Commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Arts, Sciences and Wellbeing, and also commemorating Cow Hug Day, Cow Hug Week. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's sessions. So today we have important commemorations as we are celebrating the importance of cows and cattle especially and animals. So today we are commemorating World Whale Day and also National Arabian Horse Day. And this entire week is also commemorated as Bird Health Awareness Week. And also, this week is commemorated as National Justice for Animals Week. So we will go through each of the commemorations today initially. So this National Justice for Animals Week, which is commemorated in United States from February 19th to 25th. This entire week, which is during 4th week in February this year or every year. This year it falls from today, that is February 19th to 25th. So we all ought to agree that the concepts of justice are meaningless unless they serve the voiceless, that is cows, cattle, and other animals and birds. And all, like animals, birds with feathers, claws, fins, or fur. For instance, the story of Katrina, the pit bull, law enforcement officers rescued her from a horrendous puppy mill, and she is now on the long road to recovery in a happy new home. And then there's the Chuck the Duck, one of the 150 animals rescued from the terrible conditions by Animal Rescue Corps. And there are stories of hope, but they have more in common. Katrina and Chuck are some of the official representatives of National Justice for Animals Week. Their cases demonstrate the power of collective action to make a lasting difference for animals in need. National Justice for Animals Week is an annual event dedicated to raising awareness about animal justice, about animal abuse, and how to identify and report it, and how to rally your community to create a stronger laws and enforcement. So holding abusers accountable is critical, and that's not possible without robust legislation and laws. Created by the Animal Legal Defense Fund, ALDF, the week aims to raise public awareness of animal cruelty. This includes learning about the legal definition of animal cruelty, how to report cases, and guidance on campaigning for stronger laws. The ALDF protects the interest of animals by working within the legal system. It files lawsuits and provides legal assistance to prosecutors. The ALDF keeps track of and opposes legislation that might harm animals in any way. In addition, the ALDF campaigns for stricter enforcement that organizes programs to inform and inspire local communities to take action. Each year, this event also features a representative, an animal who received a second chance at a happy life thanks to the social justice system. The law often runs on loopholes when it has the power to do so, and be much more. A representative stories illustrates the possibilities when the law gets it right. The ALDF usually caps off the week by honoring America's top animal defenders. It's the list that includes animal rescuers, law enforcement officials, judges, advocates, prosecutors, and everyday heroes who work tirelessly for animal rights. It's an uphill battle, but one worth for fighting for. As individuals, we can do much more to improve the lives of animals. Today, a good day to consider fostering for adopting abandoned pets. There are too many roaming in the streets, dazed and confused. So there are few case studies where Gracie, the alpaca, thanks to the Cross Creek Alpaca Rescue, and emancipated Grace finds a happy forever home in 2015. The Oregon Humane Society rehomes Baxter, the Dachshund breed dog, from puppy mill to loving home in 2016. And once severely malnourished Willow and Stormy and their foals survive and thrive thanks to the local rescuers and prosecutors These are horses. 2 horses find sanctuary in 2018. In 2021, America's top animal defenders, the ALDF, recognizes the work of Detective Vanessa Acosta and Dr. Carolina de la Garza of EI Paso, Texas, to prevent animal cruelty. Animal cruelty exists everywhere. While most of the people can recognize obvious signs of animal abuse, being caged, injured, tortured, abused, other indicators can be more subtle. Animal neglect also qualifies as abuse. Even the domestic pets also undergo a lot of abuse, depending on the state laws. Leaving a pet outside in harsh weather conditions can invite animal abuse charges. Even leaving pet indoors for longer time without attending or without a companion or being chained or confined to constricted spaces can also amount to animal abuse charges. And also leaving out pet in cars or vans or a closed vehicle for longer periods also can attract and invite animal abuse charges. The rule applies even to people who do so without cruel intent. So you may not have any cruel intent to harm animal, but in this process, you are creating a lot of discomfort, pain, and abuse, cruelty towards the animal. So the reasons for animal cruelty can vary. Like most forms of violence, the perpetrator hopes to threaten or shock others to feel more powerful themselves. Cruelty can also be a result of deep-seated trauma and personality disorders. How to observe national justice for Animals Week? By setting various examples like organizing these events like this, online, offline, creating awareness, and champion animal rights by being the best pet taker. Always ensure that your pets have enough water, healthy food, medication, and opportunities for socialization and moving around. Be kind to strays, or better still, adopt, feed them, get them spayed, neutered, and shower them with their love. Learn how to recognize abuse according to your area's local law enforcement. Keep an eye out accordingly and be prepared to report any cases if necessary. Ask around for some more information on pet stores in your area. Ethical companies, institutions, or shops always publish their details on their policies. If a place seems sketchy, don't shop there. Remember to avoid puppy mills or stores that sells animals. These puppies are often a product of abuse and cruelty. Studies has found that chimpanzees distribute an equal share of their bananas, crying foul if cheated. So chimpanzees like to play it fair. A group of elephants can display complex, human-like cooperation levels to achieve a shared goal, lending a helping trunk. A study published in 2006 found that mice grimace when a fellow compatriot they know is in pain. So mice with a moral compass. Dolphins routinely show kindness by saving swimmers from sharks or guiding stranded whales back to the sea. Dolphins love everyone. Scientists have discovered that fish feel and suffer pain, and as much as humans do. So fishes also feel pain. So when we are consuming various animal products or killing animals, torturing animals, they are also sentient beings, and they also feel pain and suffer pain. So kindly restrain from any such activities. And most of us live inside our bubbles each day. The news makes it seem like the world is a terrible place. Today we are reminded of folks doing exceptional work. Despite the odds, it restores our faith in humanity. The world belongs to everyone. National Justice for Animals Week dreams of a world where all beings exist in dignity. It's a cause everyone should rally behind. Nothing brings us more than joy than witnessing an animal's physical and spiritual transformation after a rescue. Everyone deserves another chance at life, animals especially. So the world belongs to everyone. So all the animals should get even second, third, and fourth, and as many chances as they can get. And this week is also commemorated as Bird Health Awareness Week in United States. The week-long celebration of birds aims to create awareness on how we look after them better. Students, bird owners, and enthusiasts, and those who just love and admire birds, bird watchers, can learn to keep their birdies happy and healthy. The initiative is part of the USDA Animal and Plant Inspection Services, APHIS, Biosecurity for Birds campaign to raise awareness of bird-related diseases and infections and the necessary steps to counter them. Birds are enigmatic creatures and are interesting pets to own. It is easy to take care of birds provided that one knows exactly how to care for them properly. Bird Health Awareness Week brings important health tips from avian experts that every bird lover should know. When adopting or buying a bird, most people believe that birds require only dietary care and basic grooming, but there's definitely more. It is more important to be able to identify the changes in the appearance of birds and some signs of weakness, such as odd sleeping patterns. There are other things to learn about keeping your feathery friends healthy. For starters, when purchasing or adopting an imported bird or a local bird, make sure that it was imported legally and all the legal formalities, if any, have been completed. Check the bird for marks or spots, which can possibly be signs of an ailment. If possible, bring along a vet who can take a look at it before you buy it. Safety and protection are the next steps. The website of USDA Animal Health and Inspection Service lists details and tips on how to keep your bird healthy. Different seasons calls for different types of living space for your birds. If you have a spacious birdhouse, make sure that the insulation is adequate during warmer seasons and the cages are kept clean and hygiene at all the times. One other thing to consider is that birdhouses become targets for predators. Finally, being able to identify signs of infections in a bird and knowing who to contact for help is a must. Voyagers returned from their expedition to the Canary Islands, making canaries immensely popular in European courts. That's how the domestication of canaries started in 1341 AD. Robert Havell Jr., an American landscape painter, engraves many of the plates for the book The Birds of America, authored by John James Audubon. The hand-colored plates in between 1827 to 1838. The society is formed for hobbyists to discuss bird feeding and their experiences, the National Bird Feeding Society, in 1989. The first National Bird Day is celebrated, bringing birds into the spotlight in 2002. So some symptoms of illness in birds include sneezing, excessive yawning, coughing, reduced appetite, and insomnia. So a bird or a healthy bird is active, full of energy, and chirpy, has bright eyes, and has a glossy and shiny look. And there might be a serious conditions with birds or the signs of dying bird. Excessive wheezing, rapid breathing, and coughing are all signs that your bird is very sick and probably dying. And the best way to learn about bird health is to observe, know about common bird infections and diseases, and what can be done to timely treat them and whom to contact. There are countless documentaries on majestic birds. Tune into your favorite one. Learn about some important information on taking care of birds. And if you are a bird watcher, then start your new expedition today. And also, if you are interested in birds but haven't done bird watching, you can join nearest bird watching society and start your activity from today onwards. Birds are incredibly intelligent and need some playtime for mental stimulation. So birds have incredible intelligence. Many birds kept as pets, such as doves and lovebirds, prefer to live with a companion. So some birds enjoy living in pairs. Not all birds eat the same seeds and treats, so different birds have different diets. Penguins are the only birds that can walk upright. And that Tyrannosaurus rex has a very close relative. Can you guess who's that? The chicken. The chicken is related to T-Rex. Birds are interesting and quite exciting animals. Thousands of species have unique traits. That is why we love birds and everything about them. Birds are beautiful. We love this week-long event dedicated solely to birds. Most bird owners often take for granted that there are the ways to properly take care of their birds. Keeping a bird healthy is very important. Birds and their owners share a special bond, which is strengthened when the birds feel they can rely on their owners for safety and protection. Information disseminated during this week enabled bird enthusiasts to understand their pets better. Birds and humans have a special bond. Today is also National Arabian Horse Day in US, and it is an informal US holiday, and it is one of those animal holidays that millions of Americans cherish. This is because Arabian horses have become so widespread in the country that even though they could only be owned by people of affluence originally, they are now beasts that any average American can own. Despite the Middle East being the earliest origin of the horse breed, more than half of the million Arabian horses in the world are found in the US ground. The Scottsdale Show under the Arabian Horse Association of Arizona created National Arabian Horse Day in 2021 to be celebrated on February 19. The aim is to increase the public interest as well as inform them about the exclusiveness of the Arabian horses. The day is also supported by the Arabian Horse Times and was first celebrated in 2022 amidst wide acclaim. This was to be expected as the Arabian horse holds a special space in the hearts of many horse admirers. Arabian horses are natives of the Middle East, particularly the Bedouin populated parts. Thousands of years ago, these desert Arabs bred and domesticated the animals and have used them for purposes such as war horses. The horses were introduced into other parts of the world through various conquests and invasions, and especially the Islamic conquest of Arab warriors in European, Asian, and Northern African states. Although there were other horse breeds in Europe Before the Arab conquest, the Arabian horse distinct features made it widely coveted, and between 11th and 13th centuries, they were crossbred with the local breeds, producing European breeds with distinct Arabian features. The historian Crabbett, Arabian stud in England, founded by Lady Anne Blunt and her husband between 1878 and the 1970s, produced horses that contributed to the spread of Arabian breeds to parts of Russia, North and South America, Poland, and Australia. In the late 1800s to early 1900s, wealthy American entrepreneurs fascinated by the beauty and distinct features of the Arabian horses began to import them from the Middle East and Europe through the extensive breeding programs in the late 20th century, which saw the birth of about 30,000 Arabian foals yearly. The horse breed became exceedingly abundant in the US. Today, of the few million Arabian horses in the wild, more than 50% are in America. Arab warriors use Arabian horses in their crusades to spread Islam throughout the Middle East, North Africa, parts of Europe, and Asia, and they were means of transport since 600 AD. The features of Arabian horses begin to seem in European horses, which include extended heights and increased weights, which were crossbred with European horses since 1,100 years. And Arab stud farms are been established throughout Europe in 1800s. And Randolph Huntington starts the first American purebred Arabian horse breeding program in 1888. So tens of Arabian horses are exhibited at the Chicago's World Fair, increasing American interest in the breed in 1893. So formation of the Arabian Horse Club of America, the horse club, which is now known as the Arabian Horse Association, was formed in 1908. So the animal Arabian horse was so special due to several reasons, including its beauty, physical prowess, endurance, special bonding with humans, as well as its ability to withstand harsh environmental conditions. And besides their unique skeletal characteristics, they also have a large percentage of fast twitch fibers, allowing them to move fast and breathe better while running due to their large and flexible nostrils. And they are most affectionate. One of the features that endear them to people is their ability to develop quick and lasting bonds between them and their owners of those who care for them. So one of the best ways to celebrate this day is to get a first-hand experience of the joy of mounting an Arabian horse. So go to Farmstead and ride one and take care of the horse. The organizers usually hold a horse show that involves competitions and exhibitions on this day. So watch show on TV, or better yet, take a bus to Arizona or watch it live. And you probably have heard a lot about Arabian horse. Today is a good day to walk up close to it anywhere where it is found and observe its famous features. We bet you will be taken in by its beauty. Arabian horses are the oldest purebred horses in the world and are the ancient breeds. They are considered to be the foundation of all other modern horses. And they are also known to be the first domesticated horse breed. And bay is the most common coat color of Arabian horses. Pure Arabian horse breeds have skeletons that are different from those of other horse breeds. They have 17 pairs of ribs as opposed to 18 and 5 vertebrae instead of 6. So looking at the equistic natural design of the Arabian horse features makes us appreciate the wondrous work of nature and make us appreciate nature. And Arabian horse is a horse breed that is found almost all parts of the world, making it highly coveted and appreciated by even horse admirer. We certainly love to admire them, being a more versatile and ubiquitous. And this day allows us to learn more about the Arabian horses. It keeps us informed about the latest happenings and celebrations. And today is also World Whale Day, which is celebrated on the third Sunday in February. And this year it falls on today, February 19th. This day seeks to appreciate the aquatic creatures that are an important part of the ecosystem. It also goes beyond that and draws attention to man-made challenges that have erupted, making marine life difficult. This is due to dumping waste in our oceans and making our oceans dumping yards for human waste and climate changes and etc. Our big blue oceans are home to some of the most fascinating creatures, and for centuries they have been hunted for varying reasons. Now that they face another challenge, which is loss of habitat. To this effect, in the year 1980, World Whale Day began in Maui, Hawaii, to honor the humpback whales, which used to swim off the coast of the tropical island. This day was born out of an idea by Greg Kaufman, the founder of the Pacific Whale Foundation. He wanted to raise awareness about the threat of extinction faced by humpback whales. Since then, whales have been main highlight of the Maui Whale Festival. This free event sees crowds flocking there to enjoy a parade that includes floats and consumed characters, and the festival even sees children's events and music from Hawaiian and international stars. So what started with raising awareness for the humpback whales in Hawaii has gone beyond that now. It also seeks to promote awareness of the oceans that are not as healthy as they once used to be. There needs to be a serious call to action to make the homes of whales a safer place for them to live. Whales are truly beautiful. The blue whale grows to 98 feet in length and is the largest whale on earth. The smallest whale, the two-dwarf sperm whale, grows between 6 feet, 7 inches and 8 feet, 10 inches. Thus, on this day, we must all take cognizance of the rising concern and take collective action to preserve their natural habitat. People from Japan and Norway started hunting whales since 2000 BC. The IWV places a moratorium on whaling, thus limiting the annual whale catch in 1946. A study considers whales as a positive influence on the productivity of ocean fisheries. In 2010, a fossil of four-legged whale was discovered in Peru in 2011. And if not for whaling, the animals might have removed 2 million tons of carbon from Earth's atmosphere. Sperm whales fight climate change without trying, and if the whale population declined to nil, or if whales went extinct, there would be two-way much carbon in the atmosphere and in the oceans. And as we have different species of whales, the most endangered whale species right now is the North Atlantic right whale, with less than 400 individuals remaining. And despite some reports of whales taking people into their mouths, it is very rare and physically impossible for them to swallow a human. So they don't eat humans. And ocean life is disrupted due to man's irresponsible manner of discarding waste into our water bodies. We don't realize the impact it can have on marine life. On World Whale Day, let's take a pledge to discard our waste properly and practice more recycling so that we can do our bit in making life better for whales. And there's so much we don't know about these beautiful aquatic animals. On World Whale Day, watch a documentary on whales or marine life and gain some insights on how you can contribute to the making a safer place for them. Whale conservation and preservation is ongoing process. On this day, there are many fundraising events, awareness programs, events help to raise funds support to protect these mammals. If you are not in a place to financially contribute, at least attend these events, show your support, help spread the word about these events, or volunteer to host an event or be a participant in the event like this. And while whales do shut their bodies down, only half their mind stays at rest with sleeping patterns. Traditionally, whale vomit is used in the making of perfumes. A whale's blowhole does not shoot out seawater. The texture of a whale's milk is like that of a toothpaste. Humpbacked whales are known to sing complex songs. They are good singers. Some species of whales, especially the North Atlantic right whale, are endangered. There needs to be heightened conservation efforts to protect them. World Whale Day is an important day to bring the light issues faced by how we can cohesively work towards saving them. Over the years, owing to climate change and the irresponsible discarding of waste and toxins, we have polluted the marine environment. This directly affects the creatures lying in the deep blue world. Humans need to wake up and pool every possible resource to take responsible action and stop taking our resources for granted. These aquatic animals are not only important to marine life, but they are also simply too adorable. How can we not realize we are putting them in danger with our actions? We need to save the homes of whales and make this planet habitable for every living being. And those who are interested in producing or documenting or portraying or advocating causes, there is a worldwide event, 7th World Whale Film Festival, which is being organized at United States. The 7th Annual World Whale Film Festival showcases films about the ocean, marine wildlife conservation, indigenous ecological knowledge and environmental stewardship submitted by powerful storytellers from around the world. It raises awareness of marine threats, climate change, vessel collisions with marine life, unsustainable tourism, marine population, and bycatch, and solutions to a global audience while raising funds for PWF's mission of protecting the oceans through science and advocacy, and to inspire environmental stewardship. Presented by Pacific Whale Foundation, the 7th Annual World Whale Film Festival, WWFF, in 2023 is a hybrid festival. The 7th Annual WWFF seeks passionate filmmakers to present their films on Maui, Hawaii, the week of June 8, 2022, World Ocean Day, and in our online festival from June 8th to July 31st, 2023. So the past 6 years have been a huge success with sold out venues, Ocean Heroes. We look forward to your submissions, inspiring action for a better, bluer future. So whoever is interested, if you want to present or portray any films or documentaries, this is a wonderful festival. And you can also sign up or start watching. So we'll also keep you updated. And there are different whales, and they are under endangered category. Whales roam throughout all of the world's oceans, communicating with complex and mysterious sounds. Their sheer size amazes us. The blue whale can reach lengths of more than 100 feet and can weigh up to 200 tons, as much as 33 elephants. Despite living in the water, whales breathe air, and like humans, they are warm-blooded animals who nurse their young. A thick layer of fat called bubble insulates them from cold ocean waters. Some whales are known as baleen whales, including blue, right-bowed, bowhead, sei, and gray whales. This refers to the fact that they have special bristle-like structures in their mouths called baleen that strain food from the water. Other whales such as beluga or sperm whales have teeth. Around 400 North Atlantic right whales remain. Other species vary around 10,000 to 90,000. And the scientific name for these whales are Balanopetra, Bolena, Eschritus, and Eubelin. And as we have seen, it can weigh anywhere between 20 to 200 tons. And the length can be anywhere between 45 to 100 feet. And generally they are habitated in the oceans. And whales are at the top of the food chain and have an important role in overall health of the marine environment. Whales play a significant role in capturing carbon from the atmosphere. Each whale sequesters an estimated 33 tons of carbon dioxide on average, thus playing their part in fighting against climate change and towards sustainable development. Unfortunately, their large size and mythical aura does not protect them. 6 out of the 13 great whale species are classified as endangered or vulnerable. Even after decades of protection, an estimated minimum of 3 lakh whales and dolphins are killed each year as a result of fisheries bycatch, while others succumb to a myriad of threats, including shipping and habitat loss. Despite a moratorium on commercial whaling and a ban on international trade of whale products 3 centuries, Ireland, Japan, and Norway continue their commercial whale hunts. Over 1 lakh whales a year are killed for such commercial purposes. The blue whale, the largest animal ever known to have existed, was almost exterminated in the 20th century due to commercial whaling. And the United States and the other International Whaling Commission, IWC member countries, have tried for years to persuade Iceland, Japan, and Norway to end their whaling, as it undermines the effectiveness of the commissioned commercial whaling ban. However, in 2019, Japan chose to walk away from the IWC and now conducts commercial whaling in its own territorial waters outside any international controls. This is a sad part, especially from Iceland, Japan, and Norway. They are violating this agreement, and also, they are causing serious harm by whaling. And warming oceans and loss of sea ice in the Arctic and Antarctic can affect the habitats and food of whales. Large patches of tiny plants and animals that feed on all will likely move or change in abundance as the climate change alters seawater temperature, winds, and ocean currents. These changes can mean whales such as humpbacks and blues may have to migrate much further to reach feeding grounds, leaving them with less time to forage for food. The shift in food availability due to climate change fluctuations has already hurt the reproductive rates of the endangered North Atlantic right whale. Many of the world's busiest shipping and ferry lanes overlap directly with the areas where whales feed, give birth, nurse their young, or travel between feeding and breeding grounds. Collisions with ships, entanglement in fishing gear known as bycatch, and pollution injure and kill whales. In many countries, there's often a lack of political will to prioritize and address these problems, and inaction is largely due to lack of awareness of the scale of awareness of the scale of problem and mitigation tools, particularly where bycatch is concerned. Shipping activity and oil and gas development cause noise that can disrupt whale communication or even damage whales' hearing. Such disturbance can exclude whales from critical feeding and breeding grounds and disrupt their migratory paths. So, World Wildlife has been actively working to protect whales for 50 years. In 1984, they helped to convince the world to ban commercial whaling. And along its partners want to reduce the number of whales lost each year by demonstrating to shipping companies, fishing fleets, and governments that the new tools and best practices can significantly reduce whale deaths and injury. Worldwide Fund documents and works to protect critical feeding surveys that disrupt feeding grounds. For example, Worldwide Fund played a vital role in the creation of the Ross Sea Sanctuary in the Southern Ocean. They strive to increase awareness of the need for whale conservation at national, regional, and international levels. They also create opportunities for local communities to be involved with and profit from whale conservation initiatives. International Whaling Commission, World Wildlife lobbies to bring all whaling under the strict control of International Whaling Commission, IWC. The IWC is the body charged with regulating whaling and addressing the vast number of other threats to whales, dolphins, and porpoises in our oceans, such as shipping, climate change, and bycatch. So, World Wildlife is working, and World Wildlife Fund is also working to make the IWC more effective and reducing all threats to whales. So World Wildlife Fund is working on an exciting new initiative to promote the conservation of whales and dolphins around the world. The Protecting Whales and Dolphins initiative focuses on whales and dolphins in marine environments and centers around three main pillars of activities: improved monitoring and mitigation of bycatch in fishing gear, reduction of underwater noise and collisions risks from shipping, improved protection of critical cetacean habitats used for feeding, breeding, resting, or migration, and collaborating with other international organizations, providing evidence and tools for other conservation partners to tackle the threats and harmful practices, and advocacy that includes targeted awareness raising and communication campaigns with governments and industries. So let's all today take pledge to conserve our, protect and promote our animal species and work towards our animal welfare. And especially, the animals like cow are very crucial, not only to our livelihood, our sustainability, but also to the nature and environmental conservation, protection, and promotion. So with this, we shall conclude various commemorations like National Justice for Animals Week and Bird Health Awareness Week and World Whale Day and National Arabian Horse Day commemorations today. And let's move on to our next session for the day. We have with us our respected presenter, speaker, eminent resource person for the day. We have with us Dr. Chandrakala Diyali. She is senior she is senior associate professor in Amity University, Noida. She is very active in social work fraternity and contributing to various initiatives for development promotion of social work and fraternity. We welcome you, ma'am, for your session today. You can unmute yourself, start your video, and start your presentation.
Thank you, Ravindra sir. Thank you for your invite to help me speak on this forum to spread the message that, about animals who are supposed to be the, ones who are speechless. So today I would like to focus, draw focus on cows, because we've been taking care of animals and we've been making a lot of conservational measures and all that. But cows are the animals which are domesticated. We are helping the forest to grow. We are helping the wild animals, we are even importing the wild animals to help them, grow in their demography and then help us have varieties of flora and fauna in the forested land. But cows are like human being, I can say, because they stay with us in our own homes. Because why is it so? We, the human being, are very self-centered, species. We don't keep any things at home, or we do not take any responsibility until that is useful for us, and I feel ashamed to even say that we are Indians and we are one of that country which had been having a strong faith on, gods and goddesses, and it's supposed to be a Hindu country. I mean, traditionally, and we've been, worshipping one animal that is very, very important for us, not only religiously, but for our own, human civilization too. Why? Because it has been giving us milk, and milk has a lot of, benefits to provide us. And as far as, benefits of milk is concerned, it helps us to keep various illness away. And it is very, very good source of, making our immune system very strong, and scientifically also it is proven that if a child is drinking cow milk, that is, the indigenous breed. Actually, these days we are not we are not having indigenous breed, but it has a very strong nutrient that would help us to strengthen our immune system. It is so much like mother milk, but today, and it's not only milk, that it also produces, milk gives us a lot of byproducts also, like butter, cream, curd, cheese, so many things, you name it all. I mean, Indian kitchens, half of our, meal, 80% of our meal, whatever food we cook has, milk and milk products in it, right? And another thing, even the poo of cow, like cow dungs and all, it has many purposes, no part of cow is a waste, it would add, manure in the soil, for agricultural population, it is a very, very good source of manure. And it also produces fuel and biogas, for any kind of use, for generation of power or generation of heat, for our agricultural use, or for our domestic use, or for industrial use and all. And cow dung is actually insect repellent also, earlier these days we are, having electronic devices and all that in order to help mosquitoes go away. But earlier days, they used to kind of, have the cow dung pasted on the wall of the houses, and that used to act as, mosquito repellent or insect repellent, and all the harmful insect would not dare coming near to the house, because it has certain properties in the dung that would help the, house or human population against any kind of harmful insects, like, mosquitoes. And not only that, cow dung is even used for building materials, as a building materials. And not only that, it can be converted into paper, And another thing, very recently, an NGO, I was just reading about a case study, NGO has started, I think it was on the day of Lori Day, one of my students is associated with that NGO, and they are working for, ecology, and biodiversity and all that. So they are, in the urban area, they are encouraging the, small landholders to have cows. If you go to Noida and all this kind of, that's supposed to be a commercial city now, there the patches of greenlands are there around the high rise building. And there they have started having a lot of cow breeds and all that. And those cow dungs are being used by this factories and all in order to convert that into logs, and these logs are supposed to be very, very good for health. Actually, people, they do not use logs and all, I mean, for their homes or any kind of, bonfire or any kind of festivities. They don't use because they feel that it pollutes the environment and all. But this cow dung logs helps in many ways, and those logs are available on Amazon and many other, I searched out for it and I could get it on the day of Lohri. Many people were buying that, and my friends and all who celebrate Lohri, they were telling me that it is very good. And even for making, the incense and all that, for any kind of festivity use and all that. So, see, cow, and then forget about it. I'm very sad to even say one of the uses is for, making the cow skin get converted into very good leather. You should not be surprised that in India, 70 to 80% of the leather comes from cow skin. You must be amazed with that fact, but it is true. So, I mean, cow leather is supposed to, India even export the cow leather to other countries, right? But at the same time, as per Hindu religion, we call it a Gau Mata. And why Gau Mata? Because, see, we Indians are basically agrarian society. Actually, we had agricultural land. We were, self-reliant people. We had, every family had to have agricultural land and had to have some, domesticated animals and all, which would help us to sustain our life in the best possible manner. But today, because of high-speed urbanization, because of globalization, because of privatization, because of, wrong concept of, development that is going on across the world, it's because of that, concretization has happened and there is no space for the cows. I do remember now a lot of NGOs have started working for the strayed cows to have the shelter through, through certain kind of gaushalas and all that. But I do remember when I had come here to Delhi, I was surprised with the fact, because I belong to the place where cows are being worshipped and worship, with the heart and soul. And they, the cows are stayed at home. They are kept very well, and they behave like their family members. If there is death or any kind of anticipated death and all in the family, extended family and all, the cows would mourn. They are so sensitive animal. They would understand, the feelings of every member. And yes, last time also I said, the cows are so much a member of the family that they are let out. They are not like here they have a culture of tying up with a thick rope and all. We don't do that back home. What we do is we just let them off and we make a very beautiful shelter for them out of the agriculture products. We don't make cemented shelter because they like something that is, warm and all that. So we make it a point that they are given that kind of preferred shelter, and they are let off. And they have a strict, like human being, like children of the house, they know their time, what time the parents would allow them to go out and play, venture out and all. The same way, every household would make it a point that, a colony, a community would make it a point that they have green patches in and around. And such green patches are not touched, and the grasses are grown, and and they are let out to venture and pasture around. So in that case, they are given that free movement, liberty. They get that fundamental rights, actually. So yesterday only, one of the colleague had sent me a write-up saying that fundamental right for animals, animals like human being. And there was a big question that was raised. Why would there be a question? Because animals are company of human being, and they have been there with us throughout our civilization. And they take care of us these days. If the elderly people and all, if they are staying, since their children go out for their studies, for their economic ventures and all that, then they are left alone. In my own society, I get to see every old age people, they are keeping dogs, and they are so happy with them. The kind of fondness they talk, I say, I mean, how do you stay in 3 BHK, 4 BHK, having a, dog and taking care of them throughout, like more than children, they've got to take care. And I never prefer dogs in my house because I feel finicky. But they said it is good, we let them be in one room, and then, we don't let them, they follow strict rules and regulations and all that. So these days, what about the cows? And where is our culture of having a cow? I mean, are we supposed to, run a race to match up with Western culture? That is my question. I mean, how long are we going to run like this? And we've seen very recently what has happened in Turkey. The high rises buildings and all, it collapsed in a minute. So, I mean, I always reiterate that, DDA, that we have it in Delhi, and, Delhi Development Authority and all. Now they should stop the way Planning Commission had stopped, and now Niti Aayog has, started, because they are supposed to be in research venture and all. The same way, some organization, are meant for, giving provision of housing in every nook and corner for every, population, irrespective of, their socioeconomic background. But how long are we supposed to provide? And can we go sustainable? Like I've seen, a government in the name of equity, people have been given, houses and all, concrete houses and all. But how long are we going to make people sufficient? And those big high-rise buildings and all, it's only the feast full of people who are, I mean, the real owners of the houses and all the society that they are creating. And nowadays, real estates is going on, they are running on loss. So, I mean, we need to plan in a very, very feasible manner. We need to, plan it in a way that we have a space left for our heritage to be carried forward. That's my message. I mean, we can't go concrete throughout everywhere. And last time I was just there having in UP, they are having this, UP conclave, economic conclave or something, some conclave is going, socio-economic development or something. And then Reliance head, he said, we are going to develop here, we are going to set up, we are going to make this UP from a Bimaru state to, something that would kind of bring a lot of products, industrial products, and in highly industrialized, state. So I immediately, when I got hold of it, I wrote a message that, and there would any be, and his statement was, there would any be a trace of, rural and urban gap. So I said, fine, we need gap, because we need to have a distinction between rural and urban areas. And urban areas should be well planned, very effectively planned, and intensively planned. What I mean to say is not extensively. That I'm hinting at not extending the urban area any further, because we want to have rural belts intact, so that our next generation or generations to come would have a beautiful diversity, the way we enjoy the diversity among people, among religious group, among socio-economic group, and all, cultural group, and all. The same way, let us have a diversity in terms of different settings also. And one setting should be, and the setting should be very, very intact. So, if urban area we are popularizing, or we are trying to glamorize, but let our rural India also be glamorized, and let all the, all the fabrics of rural area be intact and not be touched by the urban, fabrics, flavor, because we need to have rural India intact, so that, our self-reliance would be, assured. And how? Because all the annas that we eat, the source of food that we have today, comes from rural India. Everything that is good for our health comes from rural India. Why are we calling Bihar and UP Bimaru state? I have stayed there, and the very concept of development needs to be changed. Development does not mean only concrete infrastructural development. Development means when we can make the agricultural population be very assured of the good price for their hard work, where rural belt people would have reassurance from the government and from the people, that they are ready to kind of invest more for the food source, and they are ready to pay for the unadulterated food, that is natural food, that is coming from rural India. So today it has become very, very essential for us to understand that all these domestic animals are there for the cause and for the best cause. If we are ready to import the leopards and all these wild animals in order to have diversity, let our diversity in our agricultural land, as far as fauna diversity in the agricultural belt, be appreciated, be honored, be be shown gratitude to, because they have been serving so selflessly, without speechlessly, without any demand. But the basic demand, we as human being, a cultured human being, should be able to provide. That is there. We are not supposed to tie them up. We are not supposed to harm them with oxytocin, because it is going to, and I was just reading the report, that when I was in, I think, PG, I was doing MSW from Delhi School of Social Work. Then there was a report, there were a lot of agitation against the use of oxytocin for cows and all. There were some findings, and all the scientists, um, they had they had this uniform voice that that had advocated that oxytocin use is not harmful for human being, and it can be administered on cows on daily basis to help the dairy production go bumper, because that would help the dairy people to earn better. So are we supposed to just mint money out of them, who are selflessly, speechlessly, silently serving our human, civilization? Our children are thriving because of the milk that is being given by the cows. So are we giving them justice? Are we giving them green pasture land to feed on? We are feeding them with, the dried straws. If human beings are to, eat the hay, and then not given all this, not given proper cereals to eat, can we thrive? I mean, can we just have a substitution, something, we have this proper staple food, cereals and everything. If we are given all that dried and, with the water in it, and, can we thrive? Can we enjoy our food that way? So their actual food is green grasses around, and they eat herbs and whatever, because I've seen that in Assam, Sikkim, all these places, they go out, venture out, and they sometimes, if they are, and they cows are so beautiful animal. They have a way out to treat their own problems. If for us, we were just discussing, I was just reading a case study where, it was written that, the best food for the, human being or any person is, what do you like to eat at that present moment? Because, see, every day we can't eat the same thing, right? So we, on everyday basis, we like to eat some varieties of food. Sometimes I might just get up and feel like drinking lemon tea, or sometimes I might just get up and feel like having nice coffee. Why? Because our body demands that, and body is so clever, so sensitive, that it demands us, and what we are liking to have, that means some nutrient in our body is failing to furnish in that amount, certain amount that is demanded by our body. So same way, cows also, they go venture out and they eat some herbs and all as they like. They can't thrive on the same, green grass, and they go and eat up some herbs. They eat some kind of special leaves and all that. That would help them to cure, their stomach ache or some kind of, common problem on its own. And they have a best way to select all that would help them to cure. That would help them to feel very sufficient, and they would help. That would help them to fulfill their hunger. So same way as a human being would want to choose, but have we given the choice? I do remember in UP, if they are keeping the cows, they would even serve them with a milky water that is actually full of protein. But would cow like to eat that chemical based, it's a brown straw, fully soaked in that chemical water? And they, and I asked them as why she's giving all that chemical based syrup to her, the slurry, with the dried grass. She said it would help her to uh, kind of, for milk production. So I said, why it cannot be produced naturally without having to give all this chemical to her? Then they said, yeah, we need more production. So that is the torture on everyday basis the cow is undergoing. And oxytocin, I must remind all of mm, uh, the human population that the high rate of infertility that is going on among the women, the infertility rate is going higher and higher. It is because then all this scientist community has given the verdict that oxytocin would not affect the milk quality, and it can be, it is the oxytocin would not enter into the milk and would not kind of harm the human population. But today there are loads of write-up which says that the infertility among the women is mainly because of oxytocin contained in the milk, cow milk or buffalo milk. So it is like directly or indirectly is going to affect, because we always say the way you treat the others, it bounces back. And this is prakriti. Prakriti is organic and it has senses. So, and that too, we are playing with the Gaumata. So we are ought to, that's for the reason the fertility rate, this thing, infertility rate is going higher and higher among the women. Because as a girl, you are drinking milk since your childhood, and UP and all this, not belt, they start the day with the milk. So are we giving enough to the cow to be assured of the right milk for human being, for human children, for human babies? That's a big question. If we are torturing, that's going to directly or indirectly come back to us. So now artificial insemination is another worry, because not only we are trying to, harm them, as far as their harm them or play with them in terms of their food and food habits, we are trying to kind of interfere in their biological need also, because every organism have a biological need, physical need, emotional need. All that needs are there. And cow, being very sensitive animal, just like human being, has a need for intimacy, right? And bulls are supposed to be one of the protected animals in the should be in the list of protected, to be protected, or in the list of list which includes the cows as well, to be protected. But bull is not there in that list. And why? Because we are so attuned with the fact, we are only focusing on the source of food for the human being without having a gratitude for the where the source is coming from. That food sources, neither are we respecting the annadata, nor are we respecting the animals which are giving us source of food. So in that case, artificial insemination, that is supposed to be a sophisticated program of animal breeding ever implemented to improve the quality, productivity, reproductive health of dairy cattle and other farm animals. So, we would like to improvise as far as breed is concerned, but are we concerned of the fact that she's a living being and she also has certain biological need that is not, they are not enjoying that right even. So what kind of atrocities the cow is undergoing? What kind of, what do I say, lifestyle disease she's undergoing? Because she's not able to, her neck is always tied to the anchor, and she's not movable. I mean, she cannot move around, venture out on the pasture land. She is not allowed to have, the basic need fulfilled through intimacy. How suffocating to even think about it. And we worship her as Gaumata. And as a mother, she doesn't have any biological right. She doesn't have any physical right. She is, denied any right to even walk around. And she's tied up 24/7. So, isn't it a cruelty? Isn't it a crime? The human, the human being have to be answerable about it. It's been long that I've stopped, giving milk to my children. I said, if today we are doing atrocities on her, we've got to pay back. And we've got to think. We are ready to popularize our religion. We are ready to speak so high about our religion. We are ready to speak so high about our nation. But instead of raising the, national flag, instead of, shouting out the slogans, all that we have to do is through action. And action means, if we are worshipping cows, we have to show that gratitude as a mother, and she should be given a status of global mother. She's a global mother because she is the source of protein. She's the source of protein, which is very, very vital nutrient for the bones, calcium, fats, everything is, all the nutrients is there in the milk that is required by the human being. So she is, not getting the kind of gratitude, the kind of honor, that the kind of, respect. So in this condition, how are we supposed to kind of even say that we are Indians and we are Hindus? We are there to kind of respect, respect the animals, which are very, very important and associated with our religion. And as per the Vedas, it is said that cow has, cow is the culmination of many goddesses. It's a culmination of many goddesses. So are we doing enough? And today, India is becoming the producer of, mm, uh, producer and exporter of leathers that is made out of cow skin. That is very, very worrisome, because cows have been serving us and serving the human civilization. And, I wish that Indian government would soon stop this business, because the leather could be made out of any other, skin. Uh, when we are worshipping it, when we are calling it as Gaumata, let her end up very respectfully. She should be given a proper cremation with a lot of good rituals that are required by human being for them to, because I do remember when my grandfather, my mother's grandfather, he was also a very spiritual person, and he was very old, and then doctor has said now it's his end time. So he also knew that, but since he had his he was a very, very popular person, very, very active. My mother's father, active in politics and all that. He was a right hand to Sikkim. Was supposed, before 75, it was supposed to be a monarch state, country. So that time he had played very important role to kind of help the Sikkim to join with India. So 75, when Sikkim very willingly joined India against China, and then to be part of one of the states of the country. So he was very, very active person, and he was not willing to die. He had, of course, gone old, and every time we would take him to the, my parents would take him to the doctor, and then he would be brought back. He would be fine for some days, and then he was not going. He was not very peaceful. So people suggested that they should donate cows, some numbers of cows, to let his soul pass through, kind of, because he was supposed to die. And they said, since he is not, he's restless, and he's not, dying peacefully, so let that process be kind of, very smooth, and you must donate the cows. Though I still remember there was a big space there in the house, and some numbers of cows were brought, and then it was donated, and very, very peacefully, very calmly, he went away. So see, from the nutrient to cow dung, cow urine, I did not talk about. It has certain properties that would help us to do away with the germs, do away with insects and many things. Now this Ramdev ji has been promoting it as the daily cleaner of the house and all that. So we should revive all this. It should, when human population, they know that it is of vital use and all, maybe cows would start getting its respect. Cows would start getting its space with the human being, and our cows population would rise and would get respect. And it's only my request and advocacy at a personal level to the government of India, that cows should be given the and whenever there is a urban planning rural planning that's happening, any areas is being planned, there should be, the plan for the dairy, source, and there should be some portion of land that should be devoted for, cows and our cattles and all, so that they can feed on the green pasture land, and no cows should be given the dried, dried leaves with the chemical based syrups and all that. No cows would be given oxytocin to force them to, kind of enhance the, flow of milk. And then, if they don't have babies, they would, get that free roam and then free venturing and all, so that they can select their partners and, even fulfill their biological needs. And then, if you are keeping cows, let there be, bull as well, so that they would always enjoy that intimacy. They would be, they would, because we never know, there could be a mental health problem among the cows also. And I would not shy away from saying that, because I do remember when I used to go to that lady last time also, I said, in Lucknow, I used to go, it's a big bungalow, they had 3-4 cows, and they used to be always tied up there in the porch area. And then, whenever there was Diwali or any kind of festivity, they would burst the crackers and all. The next day, they would not give proper milk. The milk flow would stop. The cows would be very restless, because they would not get proper sleep, or they would get irritated. So during our festivity also, we need to take care of our, cattle who are giving us not only source of income, but source of happiness, source of nutrients, for our children. So only request is she should be getting a status of global motherhood, Gaumata. And another thing is, we should stop this, stop this business of converting the cow's skin into leather. And she should be given proper respectful cremation after death, after having served the human, human being. In any village or anywhere, she's kept as a domesticated, as for economic purpose. And another request is, anywhere there is a cow that is being kept, government should look into the fact whether they are given proper time to roam around, because they would suffer with lifestyle diseases, and that would quickly transfer, to a human population, because the kind of milk, it's same as mother, when she is tortured, battered, when she is physically abused, and she has to, provide her milk to the child, the crankiness, the anger, all the emotion would penetrate into, that would go into the child, and they would exhibit such kind of emotion at the present time and future to come. Even during pregnancy, if she is not being properly taken care, the child is supposed to have some kind of defects, mental, physical, motor, so many defects, So the milk has a direct connection with the mind, So let her have this beautiful life that is given by the God Almighty, be enjoyed by them every time, every day, every hour. They should be able to enjoy being with us in our houses. So whoever are keeping the cows, let them be given all that basic right of proper green grass, of intimate relationship with their partner, and then venture out, because exercise is important, not only the feed, and she should not be administered oxytocin and all with the lust of, minting more and more profit. So when we are keeping, and there should be a list of do and don'ts, some guidelines for the cow rearers also, whoever are ready to domesticate the cows, they should fit the bills. They should follow all that guidelines given by the government of India, so that every cow would get its right, and every cow would be honored and given gratitude back for her, selfless service to the humanity. This is all for me. Thank you so much, Ravindra sir, for having given this platform to me to speak what I had, little to advocate for this speechless but very, very beautiful animal, cows. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Chandrakala Diyale ma'am, for your insightful session. And you have covered almost all aspects, from significance of cow in our Indian culture and various benefits, health benefits, and food nutrition, and also economical benefits, and various benefits that cows bestows us and it is rightly pointed out various challenges and issues being faced. And moreover, in the present world, the cow is merely treated as an economic product rather than a spiritual being or an animal that is a wonderful species that is contributing to entire world, and it is contributing to the sustainable development. Very well presented, ma'am. We thank you once again for enlightening us on this wonderful international seminar. And today we are come to an end of this 1 week international seminar. And we thank each and everyone for joining us for this entire 1 week. And we also express our sincere gratitude to each one of you, the speakers, presenters, resource persons, participants, everyone who have joined this 1 week international seminar on Cow Hug Day, cows, cow therapy, animal-assisted therapies, animal-assisted interventions, bovine therapy, service animals, indigenous breeds, animal welfare, livelihoods, One Health, well-being and sustainable development 2023. Hope the various sessions which have been presented as part of this 1 week international seminar have given us various insights into various topics and themes which were part of this international seminar. And hope everyone had good takeaways from this 1 week international seminar. So based on the attendance, so we will be sharing the certificates on a daily basis on whichever day participants have participated. So based on daily basis, all the certificates will be issued in a couple of days. You can check website for downloading your websites. For all the presenters, we will be sharing presentation certificate for this 1 week international seminar. In couple of days. And we thank everyone for joining us on this wonderful commemoration, especially, where Animal Welfare Board of India has given a call to celebrate Cow Hug Day. But again, there were many practical challenges of animal being abused or, can be mistreated in this process. And also even human beings can also get hurt because, cows are also sentient beings, and they can also feel the pain, sorrow, and happiness. And especially, for that matter, even to hug a person also, even, we human beings also, though hugging is not so prevalent with, unless and until they are well acquainted with us, or they are very well known or close to us, especially even to hug another human being also we think over. And especially with animals, we have to be very careful. And that too, where cows are very, special animals. And they are though they are very compassionate, human, but still, they can also stressed out, because we see whenever such events, public events are organized, there is a huge crowd rushing. And we have seen many goshalas also making arrangements for that day. And huge bookings were also started because they want to avoid crowds. And even certain goshalas have also, initiated this appointment scheduling so that they can come in that time and hug. But again, see, one aspect is this is a very good initiative, but it should be taken in a very human manner. We all welcome, but the way it's being implemented is always, these is a concern. Not only just this, but also various laws and acts, we have very stringent laws when coming to animals or human beings, even human rights, animal rights. But how the process, the way they are implemented is a concern. That is what, making them, in spite of having stringent rules and regulations, we are not able to make best use of it. So this opportunity has provided us that, amidst of all the concerns, we can start it slowly. And maybe in coming days, though there is nothing new in hugging cow, because it was there since ages, because they were part of our families and they were treated as family member, because most of us, though they're not present generations or previous generation, we all belong to agrarian families. Maybe not the immediate generation, but and still most of us, Indian economy is agrarian economy and is dependent on agriculture and allied activities. So still cows are being part, though it has been replaced by tractors and various other modern equipments, but still, no matter what we are contributing, but cows still remain the major contributor in nation, because India is also highest milk producer in the world and is catering to other countries' requirements also. And, even the human being's life process starts with the milk only. Without even consuming milk, we cannot survive in the very first place. Either we take mother's breast milk or, where there is unavailability, or we have to depend on this cow milk, or even if formula milk also, that has to be prepared from, again, milk only, because that is a kind of milk powder, processed milk, which is, hydrated and made into powder. So we should understand the significance irrespective of any religion or caste, any belief system. We all, as a human being, to survive, to thrive. Uh, as already ma'am has mentioned, it has enormous nutritional value, and it takes care of our nutritional benefits to be healthy. Health is wealth. So as long as we are healthy, we are also wealthy. And that's how, farmers were wealthier, because earlier families, those who were having, huge cattle were considered the wealthier persons, because, having a cow is a very productive member of the family. For that matter, you can have any pet. You just compare, any animal or pet with the cow. You can see, it is many folds more beneficial. That's why cow is also known as Kamadhenu, because, it fulfills all the vows and it keeps us. It is also a symbol of prosperity, because every product of cow, being cow being part of family, we have a sense that there is one more family member who is always there with us, who is always connected with us physically, psychologically, emotionally, socially, spiritually, even religiously also. It is part of a member and contributing us. I have seen many times, they wake up early morning. They follow timings and they know routines. Even without a person also, they take the carts and go to field and they come back. We have seen many, those who have experienced in rural villages or rural backdrops. They need not, in spite of, they very well know, even when they are going to fields and coming back, these cows are very conscious. They stop when some children come or when vehicles come. Rarely we see, any accidents or any casualties, especially with cows, unless and until, they are deliberately committed by the humans due to their negligence or overspeeding or reckless, driving or crashing into the animal. We see that rarely any such incidents happen. So they are very conscious. They are very careful. Even, small children, adults may not go near, but, when a small child goes to nearby cow, even how ferocious it is, or especially bulls, they don't harm them. They take care of them, and even they guard our property. They are very, particular about our own boundaries. And you cannot enter any property where you have, cows or bulls. They are very protective about their and they recognize their boundaries. People who are known to them, and they don't allow anyone to come to closer. They don't just eat whoever is offering them. Especially in public places or public goshalas or community goshalas, it may be, they are trained to, but when they are, family members, they are part of a family. Like a family member, they also follow ritualistically, like a family member. And from morning, they contribute to labor. And, every day morning we wake up, we need either tea or coffee or milk. Without that, we cannot do away with our day. So that's crucial, how is and cow products are. So we have to express our gratitude, and being such an important species on the planet, where every product is useful for us. And through milk, we get, through various products that strengthens our livelihood, that strengthens our food and nutrition, health and well-being. And not only that, through urine and cow dung, we get organic manure and fertilizer and even biogas for cooking. And even we have biogas generators and plants where we can make electricity So that's how traditionally or even in ancient times, cow or cattle has been seen as a symbol of wealth and prosperity, because you will have continuous wealth flowing in, continuous prosperity, because of daily you will have cow urine and dung, which is a daily income for family. That's how lack of cattle, lack of cows in farmers' households nowadays has made them farmers also debt ridden, because even to buy where there is no cattle or cows in the households, or in their sheds, farmers were dependent everything they have to buy. Even they have to buy milk from the market, they have to buy curd from the market, they have to buy ghee from the market, and buttermilk from the market, everything. See how the entire gamut of system, they were made dependent, and they have to go and they have to buy some vehicles for transportation. Otherwise oxes were used, and certain breeds, like we know Ongol breed, very famous, very it's almost 7.5 feet animal with robust built up, and it is built for all climatic conditions, all kinds of work. And it used to take care of various transportation, and also along with milk and other things. So it was it lacked the need for there was no need for these vehicles, especially which were polluting the environment or using fossil fuels and various other aspects. So it was very sustainable. They were contributing to the nation and environment, and in a very sustainable way. And and that's all comes for free. As a family member, having one family member, and you are just providing, they are herbivorous, and they just consume the produce which is from field. Again, you need not buy anything from outside. Whatever paddy, straw, hay, whatever is there, the waste, the agriculture waste from the fields after the crops are harvested, the same is being given to the cows. So it is an entire cycle process, sustainable cycle process that happens, and that made farmers also wealthy, prosperous. But nowadays, what is happening? Due to lack of cows and other cattle in the farmers' households, they become dependent. Now they have to buy milk, buttermilk, curd, ghee, and all other dairy products from outside, and they have to spend for them. And because of lack of cows and oxes, transportation, they have to go to field and carry out various agricultural activities. So now they need some vehicle to go and transport. They need some vehicle, and vehicle doesn't move on its own. They need one driver, or again, it has to be fueled. Again, lot of maintenance is there. So this made farmers, fall in the debt cycle. So everything farmer has to spend. Again, at the end of the day, the crops, again, they are not getting sufficient price. So due to various reasons, so that's why, cow is seen as a symbol of prosperity, symbol of wealth. So it is only sustainable development, or the prosperity, or the wealth of the families can be enriched only when cattle's form again part of the family. So cows has to be part of our family. Then only the nation's wealth and prosperity and sustainable development of the planet can be possible. So with this note, I thank once again everyone, especially today's speaker, Dr. Chandrakala Diyali ma'am, for gracing us and enlightening us for this last day of our 1 week international seminar. We thank you, ma'am, and we wish you all the success for all future endeavors and look forward for more sessions. And we thank all the participants who have joined us. And we request everyone to fill up the feedback form before you leave the platform. So once you have filled the feedback form, you may leave the international seminar. We once again thank you everyone for joining us, and see you all tomorrow with the same link at the same time for a different topic. Take care. Good night.